Rag Rob. 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 That's not so bad. Check out Warner Brothers over here, killing it with the 40-year sequels. Dr. Sleep was directed by Mike Flanagan, who also directed the very underrated horror film Gerald's Game. It's over on Netflix. Go check it out. I highly recommend it. This movie is based off the novel by Stephen King and is also the sequel to the 1980 film The Shining, which is both infamously known for being the gold standard of Hollywood and at the same time being hated by Stephen King himself. I really enjoyed this movie for a number of reasons. One of them is that the characters were cast excellently, with the standout being Rebecca Ferguson as Rose the Hat. Whether the character was in or out of control, Ferguson portrays this seductiveness that can't be ignored. She commands the screen in every scene she's in. Part of what makes Kubrick's original film so iconic is the imagery and how these long camera takes build up all this tension. Now, this film is way more mainstream in its approach, but that wasn't going to stop him from giving fans something fascinating to look at. I was genuinely shocked that they did not use de-aging technology for the flashback sequences. It was almost to the point where I kind of expected it, but then I was disappointed that they didn't, which is a weird feeling because I should be praising them for this decision, but yet I kind of wanted to see it. All in all, when the Blu-ray comes out, the internet will take care of it. When you're making a sequel, a lot of the times the film can get bigger, and because of that, there's more gears to turn. Now, a lot of this film is exposition, and it never felt like a slog, and I was genuinely enjoying that part. But I knew eventually they were going to have to make cuts somewhere. And sure enough, the second act, it feels kind of rushed. It's not a bad thing, but we could have had a lot more character interaction in those spots, and I would have enjoyed that more. My biggest issue with this film is the fine line that it plays between wanting to be its own movie and at the same time not relying too heavily on the film that came before. But at the same time, you need to build off of it. It's a really tricky line to play. Is the third act of this film purely fan service? It's debatable. The director admitted in an interview that he did want to get the third act right because he knew fans would be super critical. And it certainly shows that he took a lot of care into it. And that might not be a good thing. Sometimes the shots were so on the nose that it almost got an eye roll out of me. But then there was a part of me that kind of enjoyed it. I mean, what can I say? I'm a fan of classic cinema. All in all, do I think that the filmmakers thought that they could make Dr. Sleep as iconic as the original? Probably not. But for what it is, it's a surprisingly deep and enjoyable follow-up. The focus on character over modern-day jump scares certainly won me over, and will become a purchase for my Blu-ray collection. This is a pretty good burger.